Tracy, for always inviting me to run this program with your mentors and business owners. And I'm always excited to be in this space and to listen into your stories and to explore with you, how can we take your business to the next level? And that's a great question. And as far as I'm concerned, the only way to do that is through you. The leadership that you embody is actually what makes your business thrive. And that is my latest statement. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you today. I hope that you got my preparation questions on the allies and distortions. We're only going to work with that in the next, probably in about 10 minutes time. So we'll start to work with it. But just before we go into that, what I would like to do, Tracy's already given me an introduction. I just want to share my screen with everybody. Can you see my screen? Can I ask you all to put your cameras on if possible?
So yes, we see it not in, but that's it. Presentation mode. We can still see your slides on the left-hand side. Perfect.
Thank you. So just before we begin, and I want to get an introduction from all of you, but what I would like to talk about is this notion of container setting. And there are various containers that I refer to, and it's really about a place which allows us to ground ourselves. It's a place that gives us an opportunity to really listen deeply, not only to others around us, but more to ourselves. How do we stay present? And I think in today's environment with COVID, all the chaos that we are surrounded, political chaos, all types of chaos, people around us that are very ill, losing their businesses, whatever that is, there's a lot of chaos around us. So what we need to begin is this container. Can I ask everyone to just put themselves on mute?
Okay, great. Thanks. JK.
Let me just put everyone on mute.
Jackie, can you please mute yourself?
I'm sorry, I'm in a webinar. Sorry, they asked me to talk. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody.
I'll ask everyone just to mute themselves until we actually get going. Thank you. Until we go into breakout rooms. So this is the container actually, and what do we need to be present? One is to switch off our phones so that we can become more present. So give yourself an opportunity for an hour and a half to turn your phones off if possible. If not possible, at least on silent, so that you can really have the opportunity to listen into everybody else and what's going on. Turning off your monkey mind, that chatter. And how do we become present? By turning off that monkey mind. That is how we do it. So not thinking about what happened yesterday, what's happening tomorrow. I want to be here now, and I want to listen into what's going on with myself, with my business, and with this presentation to see how I can expand my capacity as a leader. Take a deep breath. Everything that we say today in this room is confidential. So confidentiality is very important in all my groups. And last but certainly not least, to listen deeply to one another and to yourself. If there's anything that you would like to add, please put it in the chat. What would you need in order to have the container? What would you need to feel comfortable and safe enough to share openly in your breakouts and in this plenary today? I would also like you all in the chat. I see somebody's just come in. Please in the chat just to agree to confidentiality and all the rules of engagement that are just set out in the container. Just like I am doing, I agree. If we can all agree, thank you. So I'm going to ask you if you can do this in 60 seconds. That will be great. Just quickly, your name, the name of your company, the role, and just what is great leadership to you? Why are you here today? What would be a good outcome at the end of the session, in other words? So what is great leadership? What does that mean to you? And why are you here? I'm going to actually stop sharing for a moment. And I'm just going to go across my screen with that question. What is great leadership? Who are you? What is your role? Maybe I should just give you a chance. Who would like to start?
Debbie has her hand up.
Go for it, Debbie.
No, that was just saying I agree.
Oh. Okay, then I'm just going to choose people from our screen.
I don't mind starting. Okay, my name's Brian Oppen. I'm from Cape Town, and the company that I run is called Quantum Growth. What I do is I run leadership training and team development in the underprivileged areas. So I get sponsorship from NGOs, and I go into Khayelitsha, Gugulethu, those places, and especially work with schools. So my role is both. Well, the company is only me, so my role is everything from making myself coffee to running the programs myself. I'm not sure I can exactly succinctly define leadership, which I suppose is a bit poor to be running these courses, but my goal when I run them is to be able to see a team that is operating successfully and smoothly, and all of the cogs are working together, and each person takes up their role within the team, which turns each of them into a leader. That might sound a bit trite, but that's really what it is.
Why are you here? That's more important today.
Oh, I see. Why am I here? I'm here to learn more skills, to learn more skills, to learn ideas, to develop myself. It's the program that I've been doing for a number of years, and it's much easier to pour out something that's well practiced, but sometimes the jug just needs to be filled in a bit as well.
Thank you.
So I'm here for jug filling.
Great, brilliant, welcome. Please switch on. We can't see you, Brian. Switch on your camera. I don't know if you know that it's off.
My camera is a bit wonky. My camera is wonky. Cape Town is anti-Semitic. So no, that's only a joke. That's only a joke. The Board of Deputies doesn't have to get involved. The Wi-Fi is a bit wonky, so I turn it off. It just makes it easier on my computer.
Okay. Can we ask Philip to go next? Philip, you're on the right of Brian.
My name is Philip Nochemowitz. I'm the managing director of my own business, the P Factor Food Company, P2Y Limited, operating here in Johannesburg. I believe that that leadership is not what you are, but your ability to make leaders out of the people that work for you. Give them the skills and the encouragement to push forward and become release their own potential. I follow the Orchard programs like yours, Janet, because I want to learn more skills.
Great, brilliant. So is that why you're here today?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Neville.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Neville Golden. I'm in Johannesburg. I work as an industrial psychologist and an executive coach. I help people with their leadership, but I'm always keen to learn more about leadership because I think it's such a broad field and something that really is changing day by day, especially as we help leaders cope with turbulent times like we're living through at the moment. So for me, leadership is a little bit like what Philip said. A leader is someone who brings out the best in his or her people. And that's both on an individual basis, but also in terms of getting the team to work well together. So someone who really helps people perform at their best. And I'm here to learn more from you, Janet, and from the other participants about leadership and how we can support our leaders, particularly through these difficult times.
Brilliant. Thank you. Welcome. Michelle, hi. Good to see you, Michelle.
Hi, Janet. When I did your last one, I still think there is no better, picture of leadership than the Rebbe, who, many years after his death still inspires people to carry on his work. I mean, you just can't do better than that. So it's really around inspiration and maybe, setting values and then inculcating them in other people that they're able to continue. And they believe in you and what you stand for, and then they can continue it. So then why am I here? So I'm here because I'm a big fan of yours, Janet. I find when I've attended previously, I've got a lot of value from whatever you offer. So I thought, it's Janet, I'm attending.
Thank you so much. Oh, good. Wonderful. So and I'm going to send to you, I don't know if I did send to all of you last time, I have some videos that I'd love to share with you that you can continue with. But when I listen to what Michelle just says, I want to know how people become a fan of yours, all of you. By the end of this session, I want to understand your greatness and what is it about people that brings them towards you? What is it about you? And what is that resonance? So that's really what we're working with today. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. I see there are more people coming in, so we're going to hurry it up, but you are doing very well with the intros. Thank you, guys. Andrea Curling. Hi.
Hi, Janet. My first time with you, but I did meet you through Family Constellations in Raymond many, many years ago, about 9 years back. So It's great to be here with you again. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Ort and Tracy and you. I would say, yes, Neville, wonderful to see you here as well. I would call myself, what is great leadership to me? I would say assisting and serving others, serving the people, walking behind them and with them, and leading them as well is very important. What does it mean to me? In these days, we need great leaders, moral and ethical leaders, empathetic, compassionate leaders, leaders that care about serving the people. Someone that stands out for me at this point in time is Herman Mashaba, who worked as our mayor and worked a 7-day week and helped to clean up our city. And
that's it. Thank you.
So I would say he's a great leader in my opinion. Why am I here? I'm here to learn from other people and Janet and serve and assist others and hold the space for them in unconditional love and acceptance.
Amazing, Andrea. Thank you. Jackie.
Hi. Firstly, apologies for the interruption earlier. I didn't realize I wasn't on mute. I run an IT company in Cape Town, and I'm really just here to learn from others, to get inspiration. Life is continually evolving and changing, and I'm always humbled to hear other people's experiences and attitudes, and I love to learn from it all.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jackie. Lawrence. Nagel.
Good day, everyone. My name is Lawrence. I'm from Rustenburg. I run a construction company working basically on the mines on the Western Platinum Belt. Yeah, for me, a true leader is somebody that can obviously see the good in people and realize what they can add value to, and explore those values more in your company. Where can that values fit in, and where can they assist me as a leader to build the company further? And I'm here to learn more about you guys and to evolve myself as a person and a leader.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Ari. Can't see your face, Ari. Ah, there you go. Is Ari gone? Okay, Ari? We can't hear you. Oh, okay, maybe it's your sound. I'm going to move on to Odette, and then we'll come back to you. Odette.
Janet, thank you very, very much for the opportunity. The problem that I have is not of inclusion. So the value system is such that it's not good. The value system is not good. So that when I ask to be included, to be part of the bigger picture or the smaller picture, or, you know, just to be that piece in the puzzle, all kinds of excuses are made. It's an obstacle course. And so, as I say at the beginning, the value system has got to be by the person who is hosting the meeting and the person, you know, above, that a person like me is included. Otherwise, it is a host of one excuse after another. And so I'm appealing to try, and I don't know how to change a value system, but I certainly, if I was in more, if I had more control, I certainly would serve, be compassionate, understanding, and have the values of a leader. But unfortunately, I have to be included and led. So I don't approve of it, and I think to be on the other side of it, it makes conflict more available, and it's not the way to go. It really is not the way to go, but that's what I'm experiencing, and that's why I need some expertise to try and help me on this one, because I know if something's important to me, I'll do it. So how can I make something important to someone who doesn't think it's important because it's not important for him or for her, you know?
Okay.
So thank you. Thank you.
Good to see you here, Odette. I remember you from before. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, Kim Allen. And Kim, you don't have your camera on either. Be so good if, thank you. Hi, Kim.
Hi, so yes, Janet, thank you so much for, being included in this, and also just to Tracy from Auto SA. So just to give you a quick background, my name is Kim. I work for a large corporate here in South Africa, and it's Max Steel, and in that portfolio, I head up corporate social responsibilities. And the connection with Ort and myself go back quite a few years. We have a small business development program going on 5-6 years now. And so for me, business and leadership development's always been pretty important, and trying to find perhaps the right environment, if you want to, for small businesses and this kind of growth that is definitely necessary. And it is about the jockey, and it is about the leader, and being able to identify, those potential jockeys and leaders. And in my own sense of who I am, I've always believed that one leads through others. It's really, really important. That will help with inclusion. you know, and generally when I engage in forums like this, I try to, and I mean, you definitely can correct me, but I do try and endeavor to present as a host and not as a guest, and to contribute to the values of everybody here. So great to meet all of you.
Wow, everyone counts.
Exactly.
So yes, you're all contributing. Thank you for that, Kim. Wonderful. Thank you. Brad, I know Brad. Welcome. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again. How you doing? Yeah, you too. It's been years.
Wow. Privileged to have you here. Wow. Great leader yourself.
Thanks
I
for
know
having
you
me.
well. Thank you. Brad, check in for us.
Checking in. So I run a business called Still Human, and at Still Human, we help organizations to be more human in a world that has gone digital crazy. So culture, innovation, leadership, strategy, all linking to relevance. And that obviously has become a very big theme over the past 18 months to 2 years. So for me, I love jumping into things like this to see, hey, what am I missing? Because there's no perfect answer right now, that's for sure. And what else are people thinking, doing, experimenting with, messing up, winning at, that can help me guide the leaders that I work with and myself. And for me, leadership is about people. It's about the switching on and growing of human beings in the pursuit of sustainable business results, but in a healthy, constructive, sustainable human way.
Oh, thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Valeria.
Hi, Janet, and everyone. I love you. I must just say, I think was it Neville? Oh, no, sorry, it was a lady who said that she loves you. I love you. So I saw Janet and I said, I have to be there, first and foremost. But what I do is I'm a life coach. I've got a cake business as well. And I'm doing a few other things on the side as well. So I'm an entrepreneur. And what is leadership? To me, leadership is truth, living a congruent life. You know, what people see and how you treat them should be congruent. You know, you can't say one thing and do the other. So for me, that is leadership. Why I'm here is obviously to experience your great work and also to learn more. I don't know what's in store today, but I'm looking forward to today.
I love that. Thank you. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks.
Is it Michelle? Who is it? No, Michelle has been. Debbie. No, Ari hasn't been. Debbie Hershowitz. Okay. Debbie, your camera's not on. I don't know if you're with us. Well, let's go to Tessa because I don't want to waste any more. We'll wait for Debbie to come back. Tessa Bromovitz.
That's me. Sorry, I am out and about on this spring day, so I'll switch my camera off afterwards. And I missed the beginning. So you wanted to know?
Question is your company and what is great leadership and why are you here?
I'm an educational psychologist in private practice, and I am trying to grow my private practice. So I thought to come to this. And was the question, what is leadership?
Yeah, what does that mean to you? And why?
So leadership for me is making things work well around me and inspiring people to make things work well, taking leadership in their own lives to make things work. And I'm here just to connect to other people and to hear what you have to say.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Ari. I can't hear you, Ari. Can you hear us? And Debbie, are you with us? Debbie Hershowitz. You've got your hand raised and you're on mute, but I don't see your picture. Can you just tell us if you're in the room? Okay, so Ari's going to reconnect, and Debbie, I'm not sure if Debbie's even with us. I'd like to continue. Is there anyone who hasn't checked in? Because so many people came in while I was going across the screen, but I think everyone has except for Debbie and Ari. So we're just going to wait for Ari to join. Helene Itskin, can you just introduce yourself? You don't need to switch your camera because I know you're not.
Hi everybody. I'm Helene Itskin. I'm the HOD of AutoJet. I've known Janet, and Janet has been a leader her whole life, and the skill set that she's going to give you will be invaluable. I can guarantee you that much. Thank you once again, Jan, for being here and for so eagerly and unselfishly giving of your knowledge to all of us at AutoJet. Thank you.
Thank you. Debbie, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. So my name is Debbie Hershowitz. I run an accounting advisory consulting business, and I'd just like to know more about leadership since it's just me, one and only.
Okay, so you are it. I always say to people, you are
it.
the Yes, all of you. Yeah, I'm about to continue. So I'm waiting for Ari to come in. But yes, you and everybody sitting here today. Are you back? Oh, wow. Welcome, Ari. Okay, check in and then I will carry on.
Okay, so basically I'm in Johannesburg. My name is Ari. I work for First Realty in the auction division. I'd like to say hi to Michelle and to Philip. I'm not sure if Michelle remembers me, but I used to know Michelle quite a while back. And Philip, I've bumped into a few times along the way. And yeah, basically just hi to everybody. I feel that a good leader obviously has a vision, and obviously they can communicate that to everybody, get everybody on the same track. I'm interested to see what we're going to learn today, and I'd like to grow. My star sign is an Aries, so I believe that either I make a great follower or a great leader, depending on the situation. So yeah, let's see what you have to share with us.
Wow. Welcome. So when I said that to Debbie,
yes,
you are it. You are the only. That's correct. So we are our own genius. We are the genius that will take us to the next level of our leadership, to our businesses to the next level. We're also our own obstacle. We are the only obstacle. I'm convinced of that, because there are so many obstacles around us generally, and today even more so. I'm not going to name them because you'll have an opportunity in your breakout rooms to name your own obstacles. And I heard Odette already talking about some obstacles that are standing in her way. We have external obstacles, possibly the economy, political arena, all types of things. And we also have our internal obstacles, which is part of what I sent you, those distortions on that list. Those are our internal obstacles. But on the other side, we have what we call allies, resources. What is the part of us that brings our genius to life? So I want to today, by the end of today, what I would love is for everybody to be able to identify what is it in myself, because that's the only control we really have is on ourselves, and how we choose to respond to the world and to our businesses and to those that we are engaging with. So in terms of all our relationships. And so by the end of this day, I would love you to start having a notion of even your purpose. I'm very purpose-driven, and going into most of the businesses or leadership groups that I work in, I actually always start with purpose. So I want us to start thinking about what is the essence that I bring into my leadership that will take me to the next level. that will allow me and give me the capacity to ride this roller coaster? And how do we stay in the roller coaster? So I'm just going to share my screen one more time. I wouldn't say, so if you can see my screen on innovation, throughout history, new technology has always driven innovation. We are at the beginning of a digital revolution. I don't think it's actually the beginning, to be honest, at the moment. It feels like we're somewhere in the middle. Technology is currently a problem and a solution as it offers promise, but is not yet delivered. And I like what Brad said earlier on, well, how do we, I love that, stay human? How do we stay human in the midst of all of this tech, AI that is starting to really come towards us? And how do we, more than that, stay human in the chaos? So how can we impact people's futures and well-being, have the power to create positive and negative change, and affect us all through these decisions that make or don't make, that we make or we don't make? How do we do that? Because that's who we are. How are we? Oh, we've got a latecomer. Gosh. This is like, I think at some point we're going to have to trace. It's difficult.
I think we just continue, Jan.
Yeah, okay. They just have to join us on some level. Okay, so how do we stay human is where I was talking about how we impact. So first of all, how do we do that? The first thing we need to do is have an impact on ourselves. And ensure, I always say, how can anybody like you if you do not like yourself? So I want you to start to identify, what do you like about yourself? Seriously, if you have something to write on, just write it down. What do you like about yourself? Just take a note. Well, I'm interested at the moment when I'm working with leaders on what is your light. Although we are in the distortions, we'll look at shadow, but it's the light that can overcome that shadow. So all your shadow needs is to see your light. And I can tell you that when you're entering into any meeting, whether it's to make a great deal, whether it's to hold a good relationship with a client, whatever your intention is, if you're taking yourself into that meeting with that light in front of you, and you know deeply what your genius is, and you know what you like about yourself, that part of you will come through you in that meeting. So I want you to think about that as a practice going forward. Preparing yourself for relationships is what I call it. Relationships with, whether it's suppliers, whether it's people that you're engaging, whether it's even your family members, it's all the same. However you are engaging with the world. Clients, most of all, how you engage with them will be the outcome of that meeting. People that work for you. Very important. So I want you to continue on this path of what do you like about yourself that you're going to take into your next meeting. How are you inspiring people? I heard some of you talk about working with NGOs, wanting to develop people. How are you doing that? What is that? What do you want the outcome to be? So make a note of what I'm asking you now. How do you inspire? What do people say to you at the end of a workshop? Wow, that was great. Or any meeting. What are people noticing about you? And this could be, again, family members, people you work with, who you're inspiring, how are you doing it? And how is this coming through you? Whatever energy you are putting out there is part of a collective. You are creating a collective wholeness of love, joy, or not, or everything opposite to that. So how are you doing that? How are you bringing joy into your own life? I'm just giving you a whole lot of questions I want you to note down. You don't even have to answer them right now. You can contemplate them all week. Why do we need wisdom for the next generation? We need wisdom to surface in complex, challenging, disruptive times when we are in too deep and need to find a better way apart from passing down our troubles to the next generation. This is very important. But I want you to think today about your generation that's behind you. Who is the generation that stands behind you where you took your wisdom from? Mostly our parents, from their grandparents, and so on. What is the transgenerational debris that you are left with? What is the transgenerational wisdom you carry? How did your father and your mother lead? How did your father, your mother, how did they lead? And when I say lead, it's not, doesn't not have to be a business. It may have just been in the family. How did they lead your family? And how do you hold that? Does that bring a negative or a positive inner image? And how are you honoring that today? Because this is where it all begins. So I'm going to send you now into your first breakout with that question, please. I've given you lots of questions to hold, but that's one of the most important. So you've taken down, what were the ones that impacted you of what I've asked you today so far? I'm going to put that on the chat. I'm stopping to share. I'll put question on the chat. What question impacted you mostly so far? And how are you responding to that?
Jan, please now confirm that the breakout rooms are not part of the recording. It's just the main screen.
No one can get recordings of breakouts. It doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just giving you the questions in there. There's the question. I'm going to put you, just let me put the breakouts. I want them to be it's smaller, so let me just recreate. To make sure everyone's got a partner. So some are 3. There's an Ortjet here. Who is that? Is that Helene?
Ortjet is
No.
Tamia.
Okay. Putting Tamia, will you go in a group?
Yes, I'll go in a group.
Okay. So make sure that everything is, I don't know why it hasn't created it equal. So I'm just going to move to room 4. There you go. Okay. I'm opening all rooms. It's almost 10 to, so we've got 10 minutes, which should be enough time to cover those, to answer those questions. Okay, so 5 minutes each way, each person. If there's 3 of you, then it's only 3. So you should be able to, I will come in and check if you need more time. Philip, did you not go into a room? You have to go to join. You have to press join to go to a room. Philip, are you there? And Ari also, and Lawrence, you haven't joined your rooms. Just, it should give you an invitation to join. Just press join room. Helena, you're not going into a room. Ari, I don't know where Ari's maybe got 2.
Jan, I'm not going into a room, Jan.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I see Ari's on 2 devices. I see Gail Blacher wants to enter the room, and I really, how do we tell her no? She's not. It's just too. It's
private message. Jan sent a private message in the chat, or Tracy sent a private message in the chat.
I haven't admitted her yet.
Okay, just admit her.
She's missed out. She's not going to be able to come to the next one. Well, I don't know. Unless Hi, Gail.
Yes.
Shame you've missed already almost an hour.
Okay, not to worry.
So sorry about that.
Okay.
Because you won't know. It's like
what's going on.
It's
all
not,
right.
They're all in breakout rooms, and it's a specific program that follows. That one needs.
Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, I just couldn't get to it earlier. All right, not a problem.
But the next one, just
yes.
Try and make sure that you're there when it starts, because it's not a talk, it's not a webinar, it's actually a workshop.
Okay. All right.
Well, you can just stay behind, stay with Janet and myself, and just Jan can maybe catch you up a little. You'll join the next one from the film, but you can stay on.
Okay, no, not to worry. I'll join the next one. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
I just want you to feel like you don't know what's going on. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Enjoy. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You've got a nice turnout then.
Yeah, but you know what, Helene, and
this is I think it's recording, so maybe if it's confidential stuff, tell me privately.
Yeah. No. I was just going to say it's not confidential, or that it's actually we'll discuss this late coming, especially in my type of program. As you see, if it's talk, then it's easy, but when it's an actual workshop, it's kind of disruptive for others, because there's no, there's a checking in, there's containment,
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
She'll join the next one.
I think what we should do in future for my programs is actually send an email in advance to say that if you come at 15
We
minutes.
did. We sent everything out for you yesterday.
Yeah. No. If you're 15 minutes late, we won't be able to
admit you. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I've got the same, Helene. I hope I haven't got what have you got a cough?
Well, I went for a COVID test yesterday, so it's not COVID because I got results. I'm like flu-y, but I've got a very bad chest.
Well, I've just at the moment it's nasal. How long has this been going on for you?
Started yesterday.
Oh, yeah, mine is just runny nose at the moment. Actually, just got to quickly while I've got a chance. I'm just going to take a pill. Oh yeah. Well, everyone's in a break, and I want to take antihistamine. Oh my gosh! How are you otherwise, Helene? I want you to say, I would love you to come to the river, but you know, Sam, anyway. Talk another time because you're on recording. I keep forgetting you're on recording. You should actually stop the recording, pause it. I'm going to pause it while but we're on, doesn't matter. I'll call you afterwards. So how are you doing otherwise? Let me just go and check on these. I'm going to go check in the rooms. Just going to go and visit the rooms and see how everyone is doing. Oh. Should be closing rooms soon. So let me just see. What's the time?
Sorry, Jan, just went to get some water quickly.
Okay, well, yeah, between you. So what are you taking? Like
just a cough mixture. I don't take antibiotics, so I think my body it'll get better.
Let's
my
take
body will just heal itself, and I will get better.
Vitamin C, babe.
Huh?
Vitamin C is not an antibiotic.
No, I'm taking vitamin C, I'm taking zinc, and I'm taking a cough mixture.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you're on your I'm also just taking vitamins.
Well, I hope you don't get sick.
Well, it's
I don't know how I got sick. I mean, everybody's in masks and everything's sanitized. I don't know how you get sick today.
You do with our own, I don't know, the environment, the energy.
Yeah.
Our own stress, babe.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, let me close the rooms. I want them to spend more time on that one I sent them. Helena, I'll send you my videos to send to them, okay?
Yes, of course, Jan, no problem.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Everyone back, welcome. So if we could just hear from a couple of you that's willing to share, what did you learn about yourself from your question in your breakout? So I would love to hear from one or two of you. Like, what did you start to already understand about yourself from that question? It's a deep question to hold. Andrea, I'm looking at you. I don't know why you're like nodding. Yeah, tell us.
I didn't really share enough about my parents, which I should have done, but my mom is a master communicator and teacher, and I think the reason why I chose her, part of my soul contract is to learn expression from her. But the way that I communicate that to the world is by inspiring others on a daily basis through the quotes and wisdoms that I share. And my dad was an artist, so I have that creative streak in me. And sadly, I've lost touch with that. I actually need to get back in touch with that. But I think I do it through my expression of sharing wisdoms and inspirations with others. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Amazing. Who else is prepared to give us some inspiration this morning and share your wisdom?
I was sharing with my group about, because I do too many things. Not that I do too many things, I just love being engaged. So being a life coach, baking cakes. Recently, 2 months ago, I decided to go back to nursing. I'm a professional nurse. I trained like 22 years ago, but I did it for only 2 years. So the last six weeks or so have been, a little bit of a challenge, as I was telling Odette and Brian, that I went in with a 20-year-ago mentality, how nursing is, the dress code, how you carry yourself, and that is totally out of the window. That's not how things are done now. And there's more younger people. And they address you like you are like a dinosaur. So, and when I left nursing, I was a young person. So I had to learn how to bring my wisdom, not by reacting, because my older self would have reacted to that kind of reception. So the wisdom now, as I'm older, wiser, is to lead by example. So I just continue to dress the way I used to dress 20 years ago, professionally, tie your hair, those things that we were taught. Your hair can't be on your face and all those things, and to be neat at work. And then also, I don't tell off when I see someone doing something that is, out of line. I rather would, speak to them and say, how I would have done it. And I saw a little bit of change. The young people now respond to that. They don't respond to you telling them what to do. They just respond on how they see you. The dress code, because I saw where I was working, a little bit of the dress code changed a little bit, compared to when I went in. So that's the wisdom that, I was bringing to the environment. And when it comes to what I saw with my parents, I was raised by my grandmother. So she was a big influence, she lived her, what she said, it's who she was. And I see that in my leadership, that authenticity, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and and unfortunately, that's my leadership style. I don't hide anything. I am who I am. Take it or leave it.
Sounds brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow. Bringing our true selves to the world.
Yeah.
When we do that, so when we are being truthful, then those that are sitting across from us have the blessing and naturally want to come forward with their truth. So how do we encourage others to bring their truth and their greatness to life in front of you? Just by you setting that example. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pick on one or two more, because then I want to start working on the maps, on the allies and distortions. Neville Golden. You're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So interestingly, in our group, the question that we liked seemed to be a similar one, and that was the question around, what are the strengths that you bring? What do you like about yourself? And I think each of us, interestingly, kind of struggled a little bit, but as you asked more and more questions, we found more stuff to be able to add to the list of some of the positive attributes and things that we do bring in our leadership roles. So yeah, that was useful, things that maybe we didn't acknowledge. Perhaps I'm speaking a little bit for myself, but I liked the question around the light and the shadow. So, what is it that you bring into interactions with other people that brings light and progression and progress and moving forward, and I guess some sort of compassion and kindness and holding people, but also holding them accountable, which is what the role of the leader is about. And then also about the shadow, what is it about yourself that you might bring into interactions that prevents progress, and that's an obstacle, and that trips people up. And it was interesting that Jackie raised a question around, asking for feedback, and it led us to a discussion around, one of the characteristics of a good leader is someone who has the vulnerability to actually ask his or her followers for feedback about what they're doing well as a leader and what they could do differently to bring out the best in their people. And then I think the other question that really struck all three of us was around, what did we learn from our parents about being leaders?
Yeah.
I think it's a really great question, because I think there's so much depth to it, because clearly, what we saw our parents do, and I'm not talking about leaders, in like the formal or sort of, normal sense that we think about leaders, but just leaders in their everyday lives, leaders as, trying to put a roof over our heads and put food on the table for their families. What did we learn from them about their daily struggles of daily living, and how has that impacted us and the way we present ourselves as leaders now? So I think sort of lots to think about, and more questions than answers, but certainly something to work on.
So good. So I wanted to say something about that. And when we talk about navigating the unknown, the only way to do that is actually continue with questions. Actually are the answers. And this is what you'll start to notice. The more questions, the more that we are able to understand what's the big question. Because we're filled with lots of questions. And how do we bring a focus? How do we develop a focus of what is it really that I need to know in order to navigate myself through the unknown? And that's why I like this notion of your light, because that's the one part of you that is going to actually take you over that threshold in navigating the unknown, and also become your resource when it does become difficult. So how do we actually get out of our own way and step away from the obstacles and look from the outside in? Sometimes what I say is, if you're having a difficult relationship, put yourself in the shoes of the other. And look, so you're able to look at yourself from a whole nother perspective. What is it? Why? How can I get out of my own way? It's a good question. Another question, but I don't really, we're going to use that now in our next breakout. So I'm just going to share my screen. I think all of you have got this. Is that correct? It was sent to you by Tracy. The allies and wheels of distortion and allies. So what I want you to do now, we're going to go into breakouts. I'm just going to stop sharing this one. If you don't have it, I can try and actually just please put something in the chat. Hope that you've all got it, but you should have had it from Tracy.
So it was shared with everyone that had registered by Monday.
Perfect. Okay. So here is your first question, which is very important. And I'm going to put that in the chat now so that you can all see it. After having examined the allies and distortions, what pattern is the distortion creating that no longer serves me? What ally or genius can I use as a resource to break these patterns that will support me to change? What might I do to change the way I'm leading? What's the first step that you're going to take? It's quite a lot to contemplate. What is the ally? This is the first part of the breakout. I want you to only focus on the positive. What is the ally? What is your resource? And how is that going to help you to overcome the distortion, which we'll go into in the next one? So just identify where does it show up in your life, this particular ally? And how does it show up, and how does it support you in your current world? So even family, again, everything, nothing's really separated. As a family person, as a business person, you are it. Okay. Are there any questions before I put you in your breakouts? Just take yourselves off mute if you have any questions. Okay, I'm opening all rooms. Some of 3 and some of 4. We have time's running out. We've got 10 minutes or so for this one. Did you have enough time? It's the only thing about these breakouts, and the time doesn't work. I need an extra 15, 20 minutes. So I said to Tracy, I'm happy to stay extra 10 minutes or so, if you're willing to do that. And those of you that have to go or have other meetings, you're welcome. But if there's anyone who wants to continue for 10 or so minutes, you're welcome to stay. We still got 10 minutes of this session, but in case there is, because I want to already send you into another breakout after this one and get some feedback. So Odette.
Yes.
How was that? What did you realize from this last, about your allies, from the last session in the breakout room?
Is that, you know, I'm not alone, that everybody has had different experiences, but we all share. We all share that feeling of being discarded or being dismissed or feeling not good enough, that there is recovery. And I think that the speedy recovery comes with finding allies, because
so what are your allies? I want to know what yours is. When you looked at that list, which are the ones that you resonated with in the list of allies?
I'm not quite sure. What I mean is everybody has a story to tell. Yes.
No. What I'm saying is that wheel of distortion that I sent. Did you get it?
Yes.
Did you look at all the allies on that list, what they are?
No, my love, I didn't get that. Okay. But we spoke about something around, pretty much the first session in the second. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's nice to know one's not alone, you know, that it's common to have heartbreak and recovery. Yeah, thank you.
So what I want to, after the session, if you didn't manage to look at that for before the session, let me just share my screen quickly and then I want to hear from if anyone else did manage to go into that more deeply. But this will be very helpful for you, Odette, and everybody.
Yes.
Can you see my screen? There's a wheel of different archetypes, Maya mind. So these are the distortions. This is what gets in our way. And what I wanted you to do is to look at one or two of them that resonate with you. And then there was a group of allies: nurturer, creator, warrior, explorer. So these are all allied energies that we hold. And I'm interested in which are the ones that you resonate with, because we'll have some of, like, for instance, I've got a lot of seer in me, which is somebody who opens capacity to see patterns. I can see patterns in complexity and order and chaos. But maybe my artist, I don't have a very strong artist, but I've got a very strong also shapeshifter. So these are just this is what I'd sent in advance, and maybe some of you didn't have a chance or have time to read them. So I'm going to suggest afterwards that you go through this as an exercise, as part of homework for yourselves, and identify which of these do you resonate with. And once you identify that, maybe give yourself that focus in the next 10 days to say, how is it coming to life in you? How are these showing up in your relationships? How can you use them? And maybe this is I don't know, let's think, maybe at the next leadership camp, we can just focus on these, because these are, we wouldn't have had time to do it in such depth anyway, because we only have the hour and a half.
Yeah, excellent idea, Janet. Please, yes, thank you. That was
I have attached it to the post-webinar communication for anyone that didn't receive it on Monday.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll and yeah, I'm happy to I'm going to send you some videos as well. So just to go into the last question I'm holding now. Oh, sorry, Jackie, for the lack of time to share more. And the Orchard person, sorry, missed your name.
We
Okay.
need more time, Janet.
You're going to go back into a room now with the same people.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Let them
So,
share.
yes, and then they will continue to share. That's exactly. You're going to go in for another 10 minutes. So I'd love you to be able to stay an extra 5. But the next question, so to hold, just to end off, is after considering all that you've heard today, what is the distortion or what is the pattern that is no longer serving you? And what might you do to change that, the way that you are leading according to those patterns? What is the first step you're going to take? Just choose one thing that you want to shift in a relationship. So if you have another meeting, I'm sorry, we will send you some communication that you can continue to work with Neville. And we will definitely hope that you will join our next one. And maybe I will speak to Tracy and Helene and we can bring something around these patterns. Okay, so I'm going to let you back into your rooms. I just want to quickly check in Neville's breakout if there were more than, yeah, so there'll be enough in that one. Okay, there's 2 of you. Perfect. I'm just going to open all the rooms and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Hi, Jan. I'm back. I'm just doing some grocery shopping and running to my parents. Gavin wants to come tomorrow. Is that okay with you to install?
Yeah, I want you to send a message. Hi, Bedita. I want you to send a message to wish you luck on this venture of yours in the next 2 days, and you'll definitely see me in and out. I cannot wait. I will come and visit and attend some of the sessions. I'm really looking forward coming in. I'm going to come in early tomorrow at 9 o'clock to about 10. Then I've got check-ins with Nowhere, and then I'm going to be there in the afternoon, and then Friday as well. So I cannot wait, and I'm so excited for you. Waiting for everyone to come back so we can close up.
Janet, this was excellent. Thank you so much.
Well, it's so wonderful to see you again after so many years. Gosh, pleased that you could make it.
Janet,
So
please excuse me. I need to go to another meeting now.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation and the breakouts. They've been very informative, very useful. I will pick up all the tabs from Tracy in the emails.
Yes, I'll get to send you some videos and stuff.
Thank you
Good.
very much.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks, Philip.
Bye-bye, Tracy.
So I'm interested, so you're all back, just to hear just one thing as we check out, and I'm going to read you something that I wrote, because I think that what, for me, one of the most important aspects of what we learn is how we are embodying our ancestry, and in particular our parents, and how we agree to them or not, which is so important because they gave us life. and this is the beginning of our personal empowerment, is accepting them as they are. Because when we can do that, then we can accept ourselves as we are. This is where our distortions come from. From that, I often hear people, women in particular, saying to me, I don't want to be like my mother. Whatever you do, can you just help me to not be like my mother? And I laugh because, well, it's not possible. And actually it is. So your mother has two parts to her. She has her behavior, which is developed through her ego. And then, of course, she also has her soul, which is pure, like yours. So how do we take great lessons from our parents, ancestors, and I mean that with our dads as well, and really feel like we are more than enough? So I'm going to just read this to you, and just maybe close your eyes I'm the oldest in my family. So when I say I take my place as the oldest, that's because I am the oldest. So you might be the youngest or middle, it doesn't matter, whichever child you are. So here I go. Whatever I could get from you was enough. This is, sorry, by the way, it's a message to your parents. Whatever I could get from you was enough. I take my place as the oldest child with love. I take your blessing to be enough. I take your blessing to be more than enough. I take your blessing to take life fully in. I take you as my parents, the only parents for me. I take you as you are without any expectation that you should have been different. You are enough. I am enough.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Please send that to me, if you will.
Please.
Okay. I will send that. I will engage with Tracy, and she has all your emails. So and I'm producing, by the way, hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have some card decks with all of those that you can get from me and use with your coaching sessions or anything, anything you want to do with it. So everyone, just a quick word, I just want you to go out with a feeling because I know that we are over time, and I'll send you lots of things through Tracy. So just how I'm going to go across to make it quick. Take yourselves off mute. Just give me one feel. I'm feeling exuberated. Actually, I wasn't feeling so well before, but this actually is my purpose. So it gives me life. So thank you for all being a part of this today and bringing your wisdom towards me. So Andrea, just how are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel more content. I think this has really given me a different perspective of generational DNA and history, and what the gifts and talents and strengths have been of my ancestors, parents, and how I've inherited those and how I'm using those and will use those going forward. Thank you. It's been awesome.
Thank you. Ari.
Wow. I don't know if I should have joined this because now I think I need to change my whole life. There's just so much to change. I want to get to meet you. I'd like to have some chats with you. I think this has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Ari. Change is always good. I change every minute. Thank you. Michelle.
I'm moving. On Friday, I moved out of my home for 18 years, and I'm going there right now, and it's going to be the last time I ever see it. So I'm feeling, it doesn't matter what happened here. It's like I'm already on to the next thing, and I'm feeling anxious about it.
Sure.
I feel quite emotional about it. There's a lot of memories, a lot of good memories in there.
Beautiful.
I'll say goodbye to them.
Beautiful. Good memories.
Mm.
Wow. Thank you, Michelle. Odette.
Yes, I'm grateful to have you, Janet, to help, but also to Valeria, because Valeria told me the difference between a psychologist and a coach. And I have been to a psychologist, and there is a huge difference, and it's very true. A psychologist addresses the past. So what happened as a child and in a family unit and mom and dad. And as you say, Janet, you can never divorce yourself from your family. You have to own them and, cope. And Valeria said that the life coach actually addresses the future from where you're sitting at now and what you have to look forward to together or apart or hopefully together for the future. And that was very inspirational because I needed to hear that because it's so important to address the now. And often with relationships, it's always going back to the forever or the beginning of the disaster, the chaos long ago. So I was grateful. I haven't spoken to a life coach, but yes, I got an opportunity here. And so, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Janet, for hosting this. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well done. Valeria just showed her part of her greatness coming to life. Valeria, how are you feeling?
I'm honored, really. Every time I'm around you, I'm bragging. There's a friend of mine who knows you. I brag about her. I'm going to meet her. I'm still going to brag. I just love the work that we do every time we are here. And thanks to Odette as well, because you need, the congruency. You can't work with people from, I'm better than, and I enjoyed everything about today. And I'm just grateful and honored to have been in this session. Janet and Tracy, I really loved it.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Kim.
I'm just trying to think of my feeling word. But well, that's how I feel, is quite surprised. I think I started the workshop not expecting this at all. I was really coming into what I thought was going to be like a leadership development course, like a subject, the normal, the absolute normal, and this was anything but normal. So, for me, very surprised, excited. It's got my head is like going like, oh, okay, got some thinking to do. I will definitely, Tracy, get the reading material as well. And Janet, really nice to meet you. I do believe in adopting coaching, and I actually host what I call a masterclass life coaching session for all our employees. And gradually, it's super, and gradually it is picking up momentum. So yes, I'd also like to connect with you. So that would be great.
Best thing you can do for them. Wow.
I'm seeing the progress, because part of what I do is the EAP, and so coaching is really different. It creates that opportunity to connect, and I keep talking about connect and how important it is. And the lack of connectedness, if you want to call it, is what comes up and transpires in most of our environments. So that you can see, I'm like, okay, wow, thank you, Tracy, thank you, Janet.
And I love what you said, Kim, and I wanted, of course, it's not everything about me is unexpected, but you can read 1 million books on how to be a great leader. So for me, it's not the technical, it's you are the tool. That's the bottom line.
100%.
For your staff, for people, which is such a gift. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Brian.
What I'm feeling, I think I would say the word clarity, is that I found the ideas of the allies and the distortions incredible, because it allows one to tease out the different reactions and the different responses, and then the different options on how to change that. Often they seem to be, if I would use a negative word, they almost vomited out the distortions from people. And it becomes a whole hodgepodge, and to be able to tease those out and to see exactly where it fits in shines a light onto it, and gives a language to be able to deal with those specific behaviors and be able to separate them, which I think is an incredible way to start. and then so too when to celebrate the successes and be able to also see and be able to put language to it to see what the allies are. And once it is identified, one can then develop it further. So the clarity of using these, I found, has been enormously helpful.
Brilliant. So exciting. Thank you. Wow. And good luck, everyone. And I'll look forward to seeing you at the next one.
Thank you.
And I'll send you a lot of information to look at in the next couple of weeks.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say, before we close off, give me 1 minute of your time extra. This has been an absolutely humbling experience. I truly wish we could have Janet facilitate for us every single day. She is such a special, amazing, and incredible person who brings out so much in every single one of us that truly, you know, I always have a lot to say when I end off a webinar, but I'm absolutely humbled. Jan, I'm so grateful. And thank you for what you've done for every single one of us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina.